Sorry if this is a really dumb question to ask. I'm just genuinely curious what other people would do in this situation. This question is for anyone who goes to the movies alone on a somewhat regular basis. What would you do if a stranger starts going to the same movies as you and intentionally picking the seat right next to you? I'm talking about theaters with reserved seating. So this stranger has figured out where you typically sit, and when they go to buy tickets, they see one person sitting by themselves in that area. They assume it's you, and then they buy the seat right next to you. And these aren't sold out screenings, so this person doesn't need to buy a seat right next to someone else, but the screenings are crowded enough that you feel like you can't get up and move without worrying about taking someone else's seat. So last month I went to a movie by myself, and two older men approached me while I was waiting for the movie to start. Both of them were at least twice my age, and both of them asked, "You're at the movies by yourself too?" I know it isn't smart to let a stranger know you're by yourself, but we were at the movies, so they'd be able to see if someone ends up sitting with me or not. One of them claimed he was waiting for his friend, but I don't think that friend ever showed up. One of them told me I was very pretty, which was super awkward. One of them sat a couple rows behind me, and the other sat a couple rows in front of me. As soon as the movie ended, the guy behind me asked what I thought of the movie and said, "See you next time." And the one sitting in front of me was hovering by the door, watching me, waiting for me to leave. Someone was picking me up after the movie, so I was texting them and waiting for this man to leave. When he realized I wasn't getting up, he walked over to me and asked what I thought of the movie, and he said he'd see me at the next one. Fast forward to last week, and I'm at the movies, and one of the old men sits in the seat right next to me. I couldn't tell if he picked that seat out ahead of time or if he saw me and chose to sit there, but again, he asks if I'm there by myself. He claims he's waiting for a friend, and sure enough, no one showed up. He didn't mention anything about the last time he saw me, so I figured he didn't remember me. He kept trying to talk to me after every single trailer, but he wasn't even listening to anything I was saying. After the trailer for Locked, he asked if I was going to see it, and I said I already saw it. And he just kept talking and didn't acknowledge what I said. When the movie was over, he asked what I thought of it and said, "I'll see you at the next one." Fast forward to last night, I'm at the movies, and I got there pretty early, so I checked the seating chart, and I noticed someone picked the seat right next to me. I didn't want to ask customer service to switch my seat because they had already scanned my ticket, and then someone ended up buying the seat I was contemplating switching to. I wasn't even in the dead center of the theater, so it's not like I just picked the most popular seats. So I texted my friend and I was like, what if the person who picked the seat right next to me when they didn't have to pick a seat next to anybody is the same old man from last time? And sure enough, it was. This time he said something as he went to sit down, making it obvious he remembered me, and he was acting like, oh, what are the chances that he ended up in the seat right next to me? He didn't pretend he was waiting for a friend this time, and I barely responded to anything he said, but he still kept trying to talk to me. He said something about how we were at the AMC Scream Unseen movie and he didn't know which movie it was going to be. And I literally said, the movie is going to be Companion. He didn't even acknowledge that at all, just kept saying more stuff at me. Once again, he asks what I thought of the movie after and said, "See you next time." One of my friends suggested telling one of the employees about it, but I feel like it's my responsibility to tell him to leave me alone first before getting someone else involved. But I also don't want to be rude, and I feel like I'm already being rude. I'm barely acknowledging him when he speaks to me. My body language, facial expressions, sound of my voice, everything just screams I'm annoyed by his presence. I feel bad because I think he's just a lonely person who doesn't want to be at the movies by himself and has no one else to go with, and just desperately wants to have someone to talk to, but I don't know this man.